Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate, all my feelings. How are you, sir?
Made it back in time.
Yeah. And I still slowly descending into madness. What is the Reel McCoy, you might ask? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie, watch it, come back to us, and we break it down for you. I'm still falling. Holy shit. I'm just going to stay down below, okay? I'm just going to stay here. It's going to be like, I'm a little like this. Okay. We are in December. It is the holiday season. We've got Christmas. We've got Hanukkah. We've got Kwanzaa. We've got Doctor whatever. And in the spirit of the holidays, in the spirit of giving, we are talking about stuff that you do give around the holidays, which is toys and what you get, for Christmas. Some of us even don't want toys. They just want clothing, daddy.
Well, now.
What? Hey, now. Yeah, if you've seen the movie, you know. All right, so in the spirit of toys that we kind of began last week is a sort of we'll call it a transitional movie. And I'll tell you why. Because last week we kind of discussed Puppet Master, which is a horror movie. This movie is not, essentially a horror movie, but it kind of is. And we will discuss it.
Yeah, if they would have ramped it up to what Joe Dante wanted it to be initially, it would have been more of a horror movie a little bit.
and because this is Joe Dante and because there's a lot of stuff going on, we're going to talk about not only the tie-ins to Gremlins, we're actually going to speak about like comparisons between the two, because there are a lot of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe because Joe Dante, or maybe because of how the story was written, and then Joe Dante was attached to it. That kind of became kind of a thing. But we'll talk about that in our first segment of the night. And we'll say hello to the very empty chat of lurkers. Welcome, all the lurkers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But we begin every single show with a little segment we like to call Behind the Screens.
Sound production, take 2.
Not to worry, my friend. It is just you and it is just me. Behind the Screens is where we turn to us, as we get the lowdown on everything behind the scenes, production stuff. And there's a lot of adjacent things that is to do with the movie. Don't necessarily
Afterward.
Don't necessarily deal with the actual movie itself, but I think it's sort of an interesting tidbits. Plus a lawsuit as well, which is always fun. All right.
And there's almost a second lawsuit as well.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
We'll discuss when we get to it. Yeah.
We'll get to it. All my feelings, take it away, sir. And we will, like we said, behind the scenes, we'll tag team this one.
So the first thing I really wanted to notice is there is actually a direct correlation between the first film we covered and this film.
Go right ahead.
Between Puppet Master and this film. So you know how the lovely Miss Barbara Crampton was in Puppet Master.
Yes.
And she was in a little film called Chopping Mall.
Yes, we discussed
Joe, the truck driver, was also in Chopping Mall.
Interesting.
He's the janitor. That I don't know. Have you ever watched Dead Meat?
I didn't watch neither Chopping Mall nor Dead Meat.
So Dead Meat is a YouTube channel, but they have the actor who played Joe. That's Dick Miller. What he says, if I catch the kids who did this, they're dead meat, as they're at the beginning of their opening, and that's directly from Chopping Mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, that's right. Dead Meat. There was supposed to be
James,
at some point.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
Until they got swamped with becoming one of the most popular channels out there. So yeah.
They basically said, "Yeah, sure, just tell us when," and never heard of them again.
Never heard from James again. But anyway,
we're not salty at all.
I thought that was just funny because I'm like, wait, that's Dick Miller, and I'm like, oh, just a fun little aside right there. How we had our first 2 films of the month in this month that I completely forgot about the reference as well until I watched it at a re-review.
Oh, I've missed a lot of stuff when I watched this for the very first time, like back in the day, and then I was like, holy shit, I completely, like, it went over my head when I was a kid. And I was like, what, 18 when this came out? 18.
It was
19 when this came out.
Yeah. So,
all right, cool.
Moving on. So, obviously, what I think is the Gorgonites and the Commando Elite, the actors that got cast to portray them, is again the Gorgonites. Most of them were actors in Spinal Tap.
Yes.
And for the Commando Elites, they were part of the original Dirty Dozen.
Modified a little bit.
Yeah, because the two characters were not in them. Each.
I mean, one of the actors that was in Dirty Dozen was supposed to voice. Was supposed to be. He died in pre-production. His name is Richard Jackal or Jackal. I don't know. Probably Jackal. And he was replaced by Bruce Dern.
Yes, he was supposed to play the communications guy, Link Static.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of fun. And then obviously too, which you don't really see this until the very end if you watch the credits, but the voices sound so familiar, especially it was 1998 and this was like right after Buffy started getting very popular. So it's just very interesting that the Gwendy dolls, one of them was voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
And the other one?
Christina Ricci.
Nice. Which at the time, she was hot with Family Adams at the family. The Addams Family. Sorry.
Yeah. Was it Addams Family Values came out what, 94?
94, 95? No, it had to be 94 because of Raul Julia died like at the end, like at the start of 95.
Yeah.
He did that. And did he do the second one?
Yeah, he was in Addams Family Values. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was in the second one, which is Values, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, he did Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Event.
Which he only did that because his kid loved the game. It was a gift for his son. Yeah.
And he died in post-production.
Yeah.
Post-production, yeah.
And another thing that's just sad too was just this was Phil Hartman's last role ever. Yeah, which that's sad in its own right. But
you know what? Before you continue, because this is already in casting mode, I want to roll it a little bit back. So the film was a co-production of DreamWorks, Amblin Entertainment, and Universal, just for international distribution thing. Mm-hmm. Both, Amblin and DreamWorks are Steven Spielberg-led companies.
Yeah.
But he wasn't given executive producer like normally on the film, which is strange. What is also strange is that his sister was a part of the writing team, but she also was uncredited.
Oh.
Yeah. It took me a while to find that one. And as you mentioned, I'm just rolling it back. It's like before everything kind of got started, Joe Dante said he was specifically hired to make an edgy teen movie. And midway through, it was the studios who intervened and wanted it to tune it down.
Yeah, mostly because of the marketing and merchandising potential. And we're gonna get to that.
That came in a little bit later. The little bit later is after he shot and did a whole bunch more of violent scenes and explosions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
On the first draft, the studio liked it. They showed it to the sponsors. The sponsors said, So they said, take some of those off. He took some of those off, and the movie still got a PG rating.
No, I got a PG-13 rating.
PG-13, sorry, not PG.
And it was funny. The only reason why I got a PG-13 rating is because of the adults getting slipped the sleeping pills.
Really?
That is
not the violence?
No, that is the only reason why it got a PG-13 rating. And we're going to go forward and back a little bit because I'm going to talk about the BK incident. So this is
go right ahead.
One of the potential lawsuits that could have occurred because BK wanted to file essentially what they did was a breach of contract because it was supposed to be a PG film. And
it was supposed to be not PG, a G rated film.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was supposed to be PG. But anyway, so BK had an entire production line of toys made for kids' meals, and they had a whole marketing campaign built for it. And so when it came back with the PG-13 rating, initially they wanted to sue them. They wanted to sue Spielberg, DreamWorks, Amblin, and oddly enough, Joe Dante was included in that because they wanted to sue Joe Dante, even though he only directed the film.
Weird, yeah, I get it.
So, yeah, they eventually ended up dropping it, and so what they did instead is they offered up like warnings on things like that, like the action in the film is not supposed to be representative of real life, and disclaimers on all their stuff. And they offered it so that you could get a replacement toy if you thought that it was too like violent or I would say, as Dennis Leary's character Gil put it, it's not violent, it's action. They love action.
Yeah.
And so that was the BK one. Yeah.
And some places, because BK is it's a franchise essentially. Yeah. Some places they made like a special burger for it. They even had a name for it. Yeah. They still served that meal for kids, but they did not even include the soldiers inside the meal. They had a different toy altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you mentioned before how they kind of toned it down, and I think like one of the most interesting bits that they cut was the Abernathy house was actually just going to be completely blown up, and they actually shot the house being blown up.
Yes,
but they had cut that too.
The remnants of the house getting blown is at the very end when you see the roof above the porch collapse. That was a part of the house being blown. And if you see it right at the end, we'll maybe even get to it. There are several firemen inside the house.
Yeah, because he ends up breaking something with it. Yeah. So again, what was really kind of interesting is the fact that the film was supposed to be made completely practically. That's what they had envisioned before. And and all the work was done actually by Sam Winston, and because he designed all the puppetry, he designed all the animatronics. So, but unfortunately, given some of the restraints with practical puppetry, they had to basically make it a mishmash of the two. So it's basically about 1/3 practical, which you can tell when it's practical, and 2/3 CGI. And again, this is that late 90s CGI. This is that Blade CGI where it's like it's really uncanny.
I want to be completely fair. It's a little bit better than the last scene of CGI. First of all, it doesn't have any blood or liquids, so that kind of helps.
That helps a lot.
The liquids, they haven't really figured it out. We talked about it when we talked about like Event Horizon. Yeah, that sort of CGI.
Yeah. And we mentioned one other thing too about Dante. When he came on, he initially actually had plans to make it an entire franchise in its own right.
Really?
He wanted to do a series of 3 different films.
All I know is that it had a planned sequel called Toy-mageddon.
Yep.
I didn't hear about the third one, but the second one definitely had a name for the project.
Yeah.
Dubbed Toy-mageddon.
Which because if you think about it, they did already set it up in both rights. Because one, you could do a sequel just about the Gorgonites, and by like, because someone's gonna find the little fuckers. They're on a wooden boat on a river. They're gonna find them, and then also how Gil is like, yeah, we're gonna actually utilize these for military purposes now.
Yes, so you could do.
So you could actually make the second one a horror
yeah.
film. You actually could make the second one a horror film of Chip and the rest of the soldiers going around just murking people.
Yeah, they send them off to Nicaragua to deal with the rebels. Yeah.
So the lawsuit. So
no, before the lawsuit. Okay. It was ILM that did the CGI, and when there was puppetry, it was 5 different puppeteers for each individual puppet that was actually built to scale. So the scale you see them in the movie is the scale of the puppets that they built with the little mini motors inside. And if you see, I actually saw like a minute and a half of how they did it. It looks like 2 guns with like these long shafts, if you can see.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like this. And they just move parts of it. And the problem that they had is that they were articulated, but not fully all the way. So they couldn't do so they wanted to do like a hand-to-hand combat between Archer and Chip. They couldn't quite do it. And Joe Dante hated working with blue screens they had to hide the little sticks.
Yeah.
And the people working the puppets. So he was so frustrated at some point. Essentially, Steven Spielberg came in and was like, no problem. Let me introduce you to ILM.
Yeah.
I will make the introduction. And that sort of came about. And actually, both Stan Winston and Joe Dante were really impressed on how they could blend the CGI and the real puppets, because the CGI actually did match the puppets to a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree. Yeah. Of course, in today's eyes, it's sort of like, yeah, I can see where, I can see the seams of the special effects, but they had a little bit more leniency back then.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Lawsuit.
So essentially, this was actually 2 years after the film actually was released. It was Gregory P. Grant sued not only Spielberg, DreamWorks, and Universal, said that they infringed on his copyright of a film that he had made called Ode to G.I. Joe. And he had actually met with Amblin Entertainment at the time to make that short film into a feature-length film. And they actually went as far as it got a commission treatment. And Spielberg actually requested an increased version of it for a 16 millimeter version so that he could watch it again. But then Spielberg dropped the project.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because at the time, Amblin Productions was pushing another film called Toy Soldiers.
The Sean Astin Toy Soldiers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was nearly in development a month after his project got dropped.
Interesting.
So there were 2 different cases where they kind of infringed on his. They kind of looked over his story and just went, so we're going to just take all of your shit.
Well, legally, no. The court said it was distinct enough.
Yeah.
So they're both are either 2 original ideas or one inspired by, but fully original.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Somebody maybe paid off. Let's just say that. I'm not saying it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. But so that's all I had. Other than obviously it was a $40 million budget, and it still got a good ROI at 71.8.
Yeah. Not too bad. Especially if you consider that it opened 1 week after another war film. Do you happen to know which one it was?
Was that Saving Private Ryan?
Correct.
Yeah.
Another Spielberg film.
Movie. Yeah.
But
imagine if they accidentally walked into the wrong theater during the the D-Day scene at the very beginning.
That would be.
Try to explain that to the kids. Why is he holding his own arm up, mommy?
Yeah. These are small soldiers because they were gunned down by German machine guns.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a little bit of Gremlins tie-ins, and also story-wise, we'll touch upon that when during the coverage. So Joe Dante directed Gremlins. Gremlins came out in 1984. Which other movie do you think that ties into this movie also came out in 1984? Let me tell you, because you don't know. This is Spinal Tap.
Oh, Spinal Tap. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Nice. Robert Picardo, who plays the guy who invented the X1000 chip, he is an actor that Joe Dante likes to work with. He worked with him on Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
And he worked with him in Inner Space.
Yep.
Joe Dante also worked a lot with Jerry Goldsmith, the composer who composed the Gremlins score and also this score. And you know why Joe Dante specifically worked with Jerry Goldsmith? I'll tell you why. Because Goldsmith has this thing where his military-based score works really well in other movies. That's why he was picked, not just because of the Joe Dante thing. And finally, we mentioned Dick Miller, but also Jackie Joseph. Now you're saying, who? What? Both played the Futtermans in Gremlins. Jackie Joseph has a tiny little bit of cameo where there's a lot of commotion, and she's one of the neighbors who is in bed with her husband. It's like, oh, it's the what's his name?
It's the Fimples. Yeah,
it's the Fimples. Yes,
yeah,
because Phil Hartman, Fimple, is known to make a lot of noise in the neighborhood.
Oh, because that was, again, there's actually some really funny just side adult humor that are just kind of cast aside. And there's one line later that I swear both times completely caught me off guard and actually did make me take a pause, run it back, and then laugh about it, because it was like, okay, that's really funny.
And I said final thing, but the really final thing is if you like sharp-minded, the password that Alex Cross's character got.
Oh yeah, it's Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah.
And also when him and Jane Moore are trying to mess with the fuse box, I think it's Cross saying to Jane Moore, or the other way around. It's like, nice going, Gizmo.
Yep.
That's another time. Plus, there is a Gizmo doll in the trash while the kid is looking for the Gorgons in the trash. It's blink and you miss it.
Okay.
It's completely blink. I've missed it. I saw it in like a video, and the guy highlighted it. I went back into the movie. It is literally 20 frames. 20 frames. You would like, and you miss it.
Which it would oddly make sense, though, given the fact that it was the Inner Child, which is the Abernathy store, sells kind of more innocent kind of based toys, and them having still one of like an actual copy of like a Gizmo doll, even in the late 90s, would make sense for that store.
The thing is, it's not the good looking gremlin. It's do you remember the fucked up version of Gizmo that kind of resembles Gizmo, but not really?
Oh, yeah.
That version.
Okay.
It is the fucked up version of Gizmo.
Okay.
It's not the furry kind, it's the full plastic version.
Okay, gotcha.
Where it's like, really? You couldn't do a better job with this?
You think they would have just made them like troll dolls, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly. All right, that kind of brings us to our first game of the night, and we'll just play it, right? I'm still fighting with this fucking chair, man. All right. Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters of movies, have their text. I can't concentrate while I'm descending. There. 10 posters of movies have their text written off. We display them, and you guys in the chat or my feelings will have to guess which movie this is. The name is there.
And full title only. It has to be the full title.
It has to be the full title. Damn. Now who's the stickler?
That's only part of it, James.
Full title, please.
There, okay. I'll give it to him. There it is.
There it is. James has got it. It is Anchorman, The Legend of Burgundy.
On Burgundy.
I have not seen this movie.
Can you punch?
You have. It came out 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, James strikes again. This is Beautiful Creatures.
That was in that
not
weird...
Pan's Labyrinth.
No, that was that weird segment of like the mid 2010s to late 2010s where they tried to adapt every single like young adult novel into a movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for a lot of them.
Talking about Joe.
Now, this is weird because both of these films, like there were two films that came out about volcanoes. And
yes. And this is weird because as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, there's tie-ins to this movie too. Yeah. It is, of course, Dante's Peak. Not Dante's Inferno. This is Dante's Peak. And I'll tell you what are the connections. The first one is essentially Joe Dante, right? Easy. Yeah. The other movie is called Volcano. It is starring who? Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. That's the one where they actually show a guy getting melted by lava too.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Obviously the best of the Snake Plissken films.
I don't know. I kind of like the other one. It is Escape from New York. Correct. Yes, yes. All of you have got it. Thank you. And welcome, Sander. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Gambit. Talked about this last week.
Oh, boy. The Highlander franchise really went off the deep end.
It's so crazy because the sort of the best adaptation that the first movie got was actually the 90s
there's a TV show. Yeah.
My wife loves the TV show. She hates the movies. It is Highlander 2.
Actually, give it to James.
The Quickening. Correct, yes. James. The Quickening.
And they're doing a reboot too of it, right?
I think they've already wrapped.
Because Henry Cavill's going to be in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
He would be Connor MacLeod, of the Clan MacLeod.
Now, see, James has got it, but also it being Tom Cruise makes no sense. The adaptation that Amazon did with the giant blonde dude, that's more Jack Reacher, because Jack Reacher's supposed to be a giant man.
Yes. When I saw this film for the very first time, I didn't know it was based on a book.
Yeah, there's
it's a series of books.
Yeah.
The second one was fucking terrible. I love the first one. Low key, I kind of liked the first one. I enjoyed it. It was a really interesting murder mystery to me. James is on fucking fire. It is not
Over
Cobra, Sander. It is over the top.
Oh,
so when
wasn't
you
his
take,
kid being held for ransom too at some point
yes,
in time?
look,
Yeah.
understand. You take the cap and you turn it.
Turn it
It's like
around.
turning on a faucet, and it will like give you strength to the arm. I fucking love that movie.
It's the
It
same
is
thing
fucking
with like
horrible.
Popeye and spinach.
The best part of that movie is like once he reaches the competition, the rest of it is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It is not Wicked.
No, James,
Believe it or not, it is not Wicked. Wicked has a very different, very, very different poster.
Yeah, James has got it.
James has got it. James is fucking fire, man.
Because that was James Franco who plays Oz, right?
Correct. And this is Mila Kunis's version
Yeah.
of the Wicked Witch of the West. Did I tell you my daughter watched the original like Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, you told me about that last week. Yeah, we were talking backstage about it.
It is 7. And this one's the last one. It is one of the versions of this
We ain't found shit.
We're not doing this for the money. We're doing this for a shitload of money. It is Spaceballs. Correct. Yes. Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. Always love to play that game, especially when it's, it's a whole series of movies that I can actually talk about, except for, beautiful creatures. Yeah. All right, cool. Let us dive in. And I want to make, of course, I forgot it. Of course.
Didn't have it up. Yep.
Right. Now, I absolutely love the casting in this movie. Alex Cross as the
no, that's a character.
Oh, David Cross.
Sorry,
did I say Alex?
You said Alex Cross. It was like
Alex Cross is Morgan Freeman in 7.
Yeah.
Oh God. Where was I? David Cross
yes.
in Jay Moore. It is so weird because the movie starts with like 3 stand-ups. It's like Cross, Moore, and Dennis Leary. And Dennis Leary seems like he is completely in his own element.
He is just him. He's just himself when he does the entire the rant about basically how commercials are wrong. It's a bit that you can see him doing during one of his stand-up rants.
It's his asshole persona. Remember? Yeah. I'm an asshole. Yeah. It's that asshole persona where he did a full special on. It is absolutely that guy.
Yeah.
Who does not give a fuck. It's and you mentioned this before, the guy who's like, it's not violence, it's action. And
action.
Kids love action.
Yeah. Anything else a toy? No, everything else is a toy. That'll work too.
Yeah.
And he just went into also he bought up the company and fired all the board of directors except for the 2 guys who came up with the belching toy. It's like,
yes, the one thing that actually the one thing that actually put money into the company.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty fucking, first of all, it's a ballsy move. Plus, it's actually a good move, but we'll put that aside. Oh, Sander is completely right. I'm you know what? I'm an idiot. In 7, he is Somerset.
Yeah.
In the other ones, which is Kissed a Girl and Along Came a Spider, he is Alex Cross. Thank you, Sander. See, and you know what's crazy? It's the same character. They have the same mannerisms, the same way of solving an issue. It's all that. Is essentially it's the same character, but we'll put
Okay,
that.
well,
Put that
and
aside.
also it's Alice Cross is just a character, and
Yes.
it's by all the books are by James Patterson, and there's like 30 novels.
I didn't even know that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I brought this picture up for a reason. Now, this particular pose has Chip with the sort of half side gun, right?
Yeah.
Now, later on, you see the same thing as a poster that the driver got, Dick Miller got to the kid, right?
Yeah, Joe gives it to Alan. Yeah, yeah.
In the original poster for the movie, Chip had the same pose in the poster, but because they wanted to tone down the violence, they took off the gun and he was still in this side arm pose, but there's no gun in it.
So essentially what they did is they did a terrible Photoshop job.
No, because they had him pose with like this with no gun. It doesn't look like they deleted it. They actually had it without the gun too. They had a version without the gun. So they used that instead.
I know, but this is like, well, what are we supposed to do? Just Photoshop out the gun. It's fine.
Essentially.
Print it.
Essentially. But that's the part of the whole BK thing. And it's so weird. I didn't mention it before, but there was a toy line with all the different soldiers and all the different Gorgons. But again, they had even less articulation. They were mostly stiff, and it wasn't really successful toy line. Essentially, the movie did well in terms of box office, but it had no real like merchandise impact because it was a sort of a tweener kind of a thing. And everybody considered it as a sort of a weird stepchild for Toy Story anyway. Because one was made by Pixar and the other one was made by DreamWorks. And sort of like, we've got our toy movie.
And that was really before DreamWorks really made it big with Shrek.
Yes. And in fact, I don't remember if 2 or 3 of the writers, because they had like a big team, 2 or 3 of the writers went on to write Shrek afterwards. Because they were, you know how like certain writers just work for a company, so they work for DreamWorks. So they had different projects and they just stepped in to either do rewrites or script doctor some stuff or do a full write, and then other people just jumped in and do the project.
Gotcha.
One of the things that really slipped my mind, and it kind of is weird how relevant it is today, is the whole opening bit is like a full-on 3D printing.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fucking amazing. And then when they added in that chip, which is a chip that has sort of a built-in AI in it, but it's not AI because it's actually intelligence.
Yeah.
That is the Robert Picardo line, and I like fell from my seat. I wasn't laughing. I was gobsmacked. Because this was 1998.
What I found interesting too is they showed like was that supposed to be just an initial plastic mold that they were going to utilize then? Because they show the endoskeleton by itself, and it's actually like they showed it almost being sentient beforehand because it's looking up at
essentially, yes. And that's the weird part of it. That's the weird part of it, is the fact that it kind of looks like, well, maybe it's a prototype mold, but then they actually the next scene over is them just, kapound cranking in these fucking soldiers by the hundreds, essentially, and then putting in this chip, and you're like, well, this might not go so well.
Yeah.
But the entire first opening of the movie is a full-on like 10 minutes of how these things actually got made. It's like Jay Moore stole Cross's password only because he actually said his password out loud.
Irwin, yeah, because
after he was told not to.
No, because he said, mine's Gizmo.
Mine's Gizmo. Yeah. It's like, she just told you to keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Because if it would have been, if it was Larry, that's Jay Moore's character. If it was him utilizing his password, then he would be on the hook also for the chips, but he just couldn't find his password at the time, but he remembered that Irwin's password was Gizmo.
The thing about it is, none of these two guys actually got hit for all the damage and all the mayhem.
No.
It was like, it's like Dennis Leary's character comes in at the very end. It's like, how much did it cost? Like $79.99. It's like, yeah, put a bunch of zeros on it, and you can have it because I need these toys cranked up again to send it to like South America to deal with some shit. So not only did they not get in trouble, they actually got super rewarded for actually making another military item that global tech that can actually sell more stuff to the army. I saw, was it either Siskel or Ebert? One of them said this could have been a really poignant statement about violence and violent toys in American society, but it just didn't hit, so it wasn't that bad. So it wasn't that bad of a criticism. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
But
now, the whole Dick Miller thing, it's well, you know what? We can get into the comparison between this and Gremlins, right? So both movies had their main protagonist be young, like youngish in the other one. I think he's like Billy's like 17, I think.
I do,
right?
So. Yeah,
7. He's like got his I think it was either just a Christmas present or also a birthday present. Again, I've seen Gremlins numerous times, and those little details, like, let's say it's a Christmas present, just. Both are placed in a position where they're supposed to be like in charge, but fail at it, essentially.
Yeah.
Both couldn't follow simple orders or simple things like, don't do this so bad things won't happen, and both kind of ignore it. And bad things happen. Both deal with maniacal small rubber monsters chasing them. Both had mothers that kind of took things over and killed a bunch of these rubber monsters. Both had the same way of dealing with the monsters initially. It was like, what are you talking about? Both monsters got put in a blender of sorts. And both movies, essentially at the very end, when it seems like the monsters got dealt with, multiplied by a whole bunch and took over. Essentially, they took over a house, but took over the neighborhood, essentially.
Yeah.
With weird contraptions that you're not supposed to mix, right? Yeah. And if you really look into it, it is a white flat top compared to a white stripe mohawk.
Yeah.
As the so-called quote unquote leader. I found it really interesting. There's another thing that I had it in my notes, but I completely forgot to bring up. We talked about the voice acting. You know who were supposedly supposed to be the original elite commandos? It wasn't the Dirty Dozen.
Huh.
Take a guess.
The A-Team, maybe?
Close, but no. I think John Papard already died at this point. I think 98. I think he was already dead. But no, Joe Dante wanted the elite commandos from Predator, with Arnold being Chip.
Okay.
But they couldn't work it out. They just couldn't work it out. I saw that line. I was like, that would be really fucking funny. I mean, who would be Billy's character? Who would be Shane Black's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, James, I saw that. I was like, that would be really neat.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really neat. But I don't mind Chip being Tommy Lee Jones. He kind of fits that role of that, that major or colonel kind of a role where he, just pushes the troops away, and he has that sort of an old gruff voice that kind of pushes soldiers away. Not away, but to combat.
And obviously just the hodgepodge of different speeches that he utilizes when he's trying to rally the troops.
Yes,
which is great. And I love the bit with Joe. Is like, Joe, some things fall off a truck.
Oh yeah. And it's the kid suggesting
Alan
it's the truck driver, like, oh, you little rascal.
Like,
and he actually,
hey, nothing like that. Just don't say it out loud.
Yeah. I want to get to a certain point because the movie is filled with these quotes. Some of them I could actually find references to other movies that are like, oh, this is like a cliche quote that put in. Some of it is actually originals in this movie and then later on used in different movies.
Yeah.
I want to get to this part. Like, Dante loves his war movies.
Yeah.
Because this is straight out of Patton.
Yeah.
This is straight out of Patton. Most of Tommy Lee Jones's lines are kind of semi-esque, Patton-esque kind of a thing where he really didn't say it in Patton, but you kind of get the sort of, he might have said it in that movie, or he might have said it somewhere else. Quotes from like Robert Duvall's character from Apocalypse Now. Not straight up quotes, but inspirations from him and that whole scene. The whole thing with him riding a helicopter and having the Valkyrie song.
Well, yeah, because he says, I love the smell of polyurethane in the morning.
Polyurethane in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that whole shtick. Now I'm going to go back. There's the parallels to Gremlins as Billy kind of discovers Gizmo in his room, where I don't remember the name of the kid. Alan kind of discovers Archer, and Archer, played by Frank Langella.
Yeah.
Fantastic, by the way.
Hello, Alan, now shut up.
Yeah, Alan, now shut up is sort of like remnants of Idiocracy. And I forgot Idiocracy came in after.
Yeah.
I just found it funny. And the thing about the Gorgons and the soldiers is the soldiers are modeled after G.I. Joes. The bigger, not the smaller sized, the bigger size, the original. Yes. And the Gorgons are actually modeled after some of the monsters in Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Which is weird because Frank Langella played Skeletor in the live action Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
But I do love the fact that they are playing on the fact that the Joes in this case are the bad guys, and the sort of freaky kind of weird monsters that you're supposed to hate. And even Archer says it, were Gorgons were meant to hide and lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be like the underdog, and they're not even fighting most of it. It's just at the very end they're like, maybe we are supposed to help the humans. Maybe they're putting their life on the line for us. Maybe we should try and get a win.
We won. Well, that's nice for a change.
Yeah. But that initial meeting with Alan and Archer, knowing that Archer is alive before Alan quite knows it, and we're sort of like, we're ahead of the characters. And by the way, Kirsten Dunst, fresh out of, I love the fact that every time I went to the research, they mentioned Interview with a Vampire. That happened.
That was in '94. She was like 10 when that film came out.
Yeah, they completely skipped over that Kirsten Dunst was in another movie based on a game, which is Jumanji.
Oh yeah, she was in Jumanji.
It's just Jumanji was so bad that it's
people didn't want to remember Jumanji.
The original one, the Robin Williams Jumanji.
Yes, yeah. Because then she did, was it Bring It On was after that, and then Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the whole thing about Kirsten Dunst, who, Alan, I only date older men. I was like,
Don't take it personally. It's like, you're 14. Stop it.
Is she supposed to be like 15 years old at this point in the movie?
That's the most. I mean,
she's supposed to be like 15 years old, and her boyfriend is, I'm guessing 16, 17.
No, he's got to be 17 because he said we're going to go watch the JV team play.
Oh, okay.
So he's a varsity player, so he has to be at least be a junior.
And the thing about it is like, he is the most apt name in the entire movie. His name is Brad, and he acts like a Brad for the entire movie. And of course, he gets his comeuppance as they drop his pants.
Then afterwards, like, he's outside trying to basically talk his way back into the house too, where it's like, dude, she's like 15, man.
Not gonna say nothing. You know what? She is a smart 15-year-old because she sees right through his attempts. It's like, no, my parents are asleep. You go outside. No kiss. She doesn't even kiss him in the mouth. It's like a small little cheek peck, and you're off to the races.
Well, then they have that conversation too, where the kids they're not their stereotypical kids when they're cleaning up the mess after the commandos break free.
Yeah, trash the place,
and they get all the woodworking stuff that his dad had, and she helps him clean up. But they have the conversation about like how they hate this sitcom that everybody likes, and how they like the X-Files, and how they're both really big fans of Led Zeppelin and stuff. And at one point in time, she's sitting in her room and she's listening to Rush.
Yes.
Where I'm like, they must have spent a lot of money on this damn.
To be completely fair, the soundtrack for this is fucking amazing. First of all, Led Zeppelin gave their permission to put their music on the movie, not on the soundtrack.
Yes.
In a weird coincidence, okay, I saw it. I didn't put it in my notes. In a weird coincidence, the kid that was in Jurassic Park was supposed to play the Alan role. He didn't play the Alan role. He later on played the bass player, I think, in Bohemian Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. Another one, Bites the Dust, is in this movie and on the soundtrack of the movie. Yeah. It also has like Pat Benatar and several others. The Spice Girls bit, where it's like, this is like psychological warfare.
Fair. Because she even mentions like, like they use it against Noriega, where I'm like, all right, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Spice Girls song, the wannabe Spice Girls song, which was hot hot at the time was not on the soundtrack. It was in the movie, not on the soundtrack.
I probably couldn't get the rights for it. That's why. Yeah.
Same goes for the Led Zeppelin one, but the Queen song was included as well. So you never know.
Yep.
So the blending of CGI and puppeteering in this bit, this was, I think, one of the more egregious, sort of like, this is kind of weird looking CGI. And I'll tell you what, where it is Bazooka, I think, right? Bazooka, who's climbing on top. Every time he climbs, in some places it actually fits, and in some places it really is very clunky.
Yeah.
And when they turn into like wide shots, like this one, which I'm so glad I got this one, where the dog is chasing it. This is an actual puppet. Yeah. And if you notice this, and I did notice it while I watched this today again, is the little puppet soldier on the back, it has little wheels. So when the kid drives, it would go smoothly and not rub too much against the road.
Yeah.
So the dog can actually grab it if he needs to.
Yeah.
So they got this shot really well.
I would say the only other one that's really kind of jarring where they mix the two together is the scene with Nick Nitro and Alan in the garbage disposal.
Yes.
Yeah, where they blended it together to make it work right, but it looks just off. Like this, it just doesn't look.
I mean, it's really hard to grab a single picture of this, but this is the moment where you kind of like, this is a little bit detached. So there's a moment where he's like stepping on the bike's chain. That kind of looks okay, but then it switches into this where he slips up, and then it looks like it's, like they put a picture on top of a picture, but it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they superimpose this CGI on this bike, and it fails to hit the mark. But yet, again, it's a little bit of a, hindsight is 2020. And a little bit of, even back in the day, it kind of looks weird, but we knew this is CGI, so we gave it a pass. And we give a pass for a lot of the practical effects for like the 80s. We can see the puppets.
Yeah.
But we let it go because it only serves to tell the story. Yes. Good night. Merry Christmas, everyone. For my daughter. So the moment where Alan kind of figures out, Archer's alive, and also there are the soldiers that trashed the place, they're alive too. It's sort of if you didn't know from before, this is the moment where he kind of figures out, oh, you went on my computer and searched for stuff, and now you can actually,
because it's Alan, now shut up, keeper of Ancarta.
This.
Well, I did love the customer service call too. Can I just speak to a robot?
An early is it Sherry Autry role or cameo?
Sherry O'Terry, I believe.
O'Terry, yeah.
One
of her first role ever on screen. This bit, it's just, it is
the press conference.
The makeshift press conference, and then of course Dennis Leary steals the fucking show. The one thing I didn't get is his sort of side, his henchman, his female henchman.
You mean Miss Kegel?
Yes, Miss Kegel.
Yeah.
Why is she wearing a military outfit?
I don't know. She's all in. She's all in on it.
She's all in. And did you notice she constantly has an earpiece as if she's like a Secret Service kind of a individual? Like, it's a little bit too weird. I was trying to find out who is he supposed to represent. So Dennis Leary is supposed to represent a CEO of Global Tech. Not he is CEO of Global Tech.
Yeah,
but
Gil is.
What company in 98 would have been Global Tech? I wouldn't even know. What company was like, we are only doing military stuff and then we're also doing consumer products? The only thing I can think about is not even a real company. It's OCP from the RoboCop thing. We're doing like military things, but also consumer products.
Yeah.
Halliburton or Boeing? It
be Halliburton yet, because it's too early for Halliburton reference.
But toys?
Yeah.
You know, it's all good. And this is the moment where I was going to say Alex Cross. No, David Cross's character. Irwin. Yeah. Okay. Irwin is kind of figuring out, well, Larry, you ordered a bunch of like really high tech, like military industrial complex
put kind them of inside of a toy, which like, again, it was, it's Alan's father, Stuart, even brings it up, like, what kind of idiot puts a military chip in a toy?
Yeah. I want to get further into the movie. Yeah.
So we just have the
I want to get to the blender scene
where the commandos infiltrate the Abernathy house. They take Archer basically hostage, and Alan rescues him. And then they have the bit with the kind of little fight between Nick Nitro and Alan, where he cuts his finger and he puts him in the garbage disposal.
Yeah. And then his mother and father kind of get up and try to understand what was going on.
Are you on crank? Are you on crystal meth? Like, it's the same thing, sweetheart.
No, she does say, "Are you on smack?" or something like. She started to go over the. It's like, how do you know all these drug names?
Yeah, just bringing them all up. But so essentially, like, again, it's just kind of repeating the past. Like, we have that just a little bit in the past that we kind of skipped over there. Alan's kind of a troubled kid a little bit because he's acted out before. And so with like, his dad already assumes that he stole all of his woodworking tools to sell them, to get that influx of toys so he can sell them and get more money for the store, obviously. But every single side, like, they're always suspecting that something's wrong with him. And he's not helping his case here. We're like, yeah, no, the toys are alive, man.
Yeah. Like, are you sure? And there's a moment kind of contributing to that, because we don't know the full story of Alan until like it kind of reveals itself in bits, where it's Kirsten Dunst's character who comes in and is like, everybody knows you're the guy who got like kicked out of 15 schools. It's like, well, the truth is it's just 2.
Yeah.
The truth is it's just 2.
And there's no real explanation too as why he acted out either. There was no explanation for why he did anything that he did before.
No. So there's literally none.
That was just really odd.
And the fact that it kind of explains why his dad is so fucking stressed out.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the beginning, he's like so stressed out and is like, we moved here so you can like relax. And you kind of think, okay, maybe he had like this high powered job. Like, this is stressful office gig, high up, like a VP or something. Like, turns out his kid is a fucking menace.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to get away from these awful, maybe try to move to a different school zone or something where nobody knows them and nobody knows why he's so crazy. Like, his kid is so crazy.
Yep. So speed up a little bit. We have I did love the fact that that Archer threw it back in his face. No, you told me to not say a word.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you say anything? So then they mourn Nick Nitro, which I thought that's like a nice little touch. They have like a service for him. And then they have basically, like, they realize what Chip Archer tells Alan what Chip told him. about the Gorgonites. They figure like, oh, they're hiding.
Yeah.
And they go and they find the Gorgonites in the dumpster.
I want maybe to get to the point where you can see Gizmo, but like I said, it's so.
Yo, it's like it's.
Oh, I got it. I got
Oh,
it.
you got it.
I fucking got it. It's right next to the eye.
Oh yeah,
Right there.
Little itty bitty one next to Oculara. Yeah,
it's literally 20 frames, and I got it. Thank fucking Christ. The thing about this, this is straight out of Star Wars. We've got the garbage disposal, and you got the eye that comes up for a second and then drops down, and then you never see it again ever.
No,
that is that moment.
You see her. Well, no, the eye in Star Wars, yeah, but that's
no, the eye in Star Wars, yeah. For a second, and this is kind of the same where it kind of jumped like from the garbage. You got this eye pops over, looks, and then it looks right at Alan, and you got the different Gorgons, and all of them have their own like characteristics. But again, because they're just janky looking, and I think again, what's the David Cross's character's name? Irwin.
Yeah.
Irwin kind of tries to explain to Dennis Leary what are the Gorgons all about. It's the fact that they're looking for a new home and they're very peaceful, but because they look kind of janky, nobody loves them. That's
they're like
kind of explains
to learn. You're supposed to learn how you can really appreciate other people. And that's when Dennis Leary's character goes, well, Gil just goes, learn, pass.
Yeah, and the one Gorgon that got smashed got rebuilt from using his dad's radio as spare parts, and they mentioned Frankenstein.
Yeah,
and then later on
he troglodyne, and then he got put back together. It's like, oh, like Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yes.
And then later he actually watches Frankenstein.
Yeah, like the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein, which is fucking. Like I said,
I understand your pain.
Yeah. That whole tie-in with other movies is like it's Joe Dante. It comes from Joe Dante's world.
Yeah.
Like he one of those people, like it's like Steven Spielberg. They love movies and movie references and how to tie in the old with the new. They even got I don't remember the name of the movie. It's the Stinging Eye or the Eye from the Lake. The movie that the Eye character watches.
Oh yeah, because it's
another one of those movies that was done around the 1930s plus.
Yeah, it was Scratch It. No, sorry, it was Slam Fist goes, what is that a relative of yours?
Yeah, it's a relative of yours. So we got Larry and the other dude. We'll never forget that name.
Larry and Irwin. Yeah.
Irwin.
And they go to see the lab tech, and the lab tech's like, yeah, it's a learning chip. And they get they get Chekhov's gun in the note about the EMP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a little bit too on the nose, but it's halfway through the movie at this point. I was like, okay, I guess we've got the how to really deal with them. I want to get to this part where he pulls him away from the eye movie. It's like it's gonna hurt your eye. The thing about the movie, and this is what most of the criticism comes from, is the fact that in some points it's like really dark humor bordering on a horror movie, and in some points it's like really silly, stupid kids humor.
Yeah, there's a lot of slapstick. There's multiple Wilhelm screams.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's the moment at the beginning where Phil Hartman's character, he puts on this dish, he even complains to his daughter about not getting good reception, And then he starts to cut over a tree that is clearly on your neighbor's side, but
the branch is infringing, which is like, yeah, that's a whole HOA thing.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, no, it's okay. You can cut the branch because it's actually on your property. Yeah. They will.
It's like Phil's like, check your zoning. And the guy, and like, it's Alan's dad goes into the house, pushed by the mom. And as soon as he goes into the house, like, fuck this.
Okay. It was great too. Is just the essentially how all of the Gorgonites and the elite, how they have a scanner that's essentially just like a Terminator, where they classify the Abernathy as the Gorgonites base, and then when Chip sees Phil for the first time, classifies as moron.
Yes, that is fucking great. I love the building of the crazy contraptions montage.
Yeah,
it's just great. The thing that they're using, sort of household appliances in order to make death machines.
Yeah,
kind of gives it away. I was like, yeah, these are death machines. We're just using him for, if we're using him as a with safety measures, they're okay. But they can maim, kill, and destroy.
Kill, yeah.
I want to get to, this. This is a 50-inch TV in 1998.
That's a big ass TV.
That's a big ass TV. And he still complains. He still complains with a big ass sound system.
It's the chroma. See, flesh tones off. It's the chroma.
Yeah. The fact that at this point, because of what's the communications officer's name?
Link Static. So
Link Static.
He intercepts the call between Alan and Christy.
Yes.
And he's like, we got it. We know a way to get.
We got a way in, and that kind of leads them into like this bit:
citrus water,
alcohol,
gin and tonic. How would they know it's a gin and tonic?
Because this is straight out of Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Straight out of Short Circuit. I was like, this is really low-key clever, either clever writing or clever direction. Because evidently, and by the way, they're using the same font as RoboCop.
Yes.
But essentially, this is sort of a Terminator kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's if you realize, yes, Chip was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, that ties into Terminator.
Yeah, it's so much
which
better. Yeah.
Stan Winston was the guy in charge of the special effects on that.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of tie-ins to this that are really weird, which makes it really janky if you look at it as a whole movie. That stuff kind of fits in certain areas, but doesn't fit in other areas. So they put in the the ambient or whatever it is, and Christie's brother,
a little Timmy, his name actually is Timmy, is super excited. So then they're just like, "Listen, soldier, you can either be a hostage or you can die." It was like, okay, that went dark real quick, didn't it?
Yeah, the thing about it, they literally hog tie this kid and put a fucking bandage in his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. And this is the moment where I saw some guy in an interview, some guy who apparently was an executive in Burger King. He said, this movie is too scary for kids, and we don't want that on our product.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Like, Yeah, they probably saw the hogtied scene with little Timmy and are like, "Oh shit!"
Well, yeah.
No.
Well, then right after this too is the basically it's the Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, the actual creation of the Gwendy dolls, where they take the chip from Nick Nitro and they make all the Gwendy dolls into basically like it was what one of them walks up and says, "Cannon fodder reporting for duty, sir."
Yes,
I'm like, that's great.
That's really great. Want to get to the hostage tape. The hostage tape was for real, but before the hostage tape it's sort of a touching moment where
about wind. Yeah.
It's like he talks about he tries to explain wind is like, no, you're plastic. You don't even feel
like have
the
to
wind.
Feel. Yeah.
But there's a moment where Archer's like, what's beyond? It's like he says that the soldiers are in the trees. It's because it's green and it's moving.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's beyond the trees? Beyond the tree is like the next house in the next neighborhood is the next, the town. And what's beyond that? It's like fields and farmers. And what's beyond that? And the kid says, I don't know. My initial, like, the world.
Yeah.
And the kid says, I don't know. And as soon as Alan leaves, Archer's like, it's Gorgon. Beyond that. It's like, no, it's not. But it ties in really neatly with him putting all the Gorgons on the boat and sending them on their way because they're gonna move past these farmlands that Alan doesn't know what state he is at 14.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But I thought this whole exchange was kind of touching because it touches upon the fact that, yeah, these things are alive, but they're still robots and they're still made of plastic, essentially. So they can't really feel anything. Yeah. Plus, they don't have a frame of reference of what air really is.
Because they don't breathe.
Because they don't breathe. But yeah. It all comes into you can see where it's practical and where it's not.
Yes.
And one of the things that we're like, maybe cut this thing out. This is one of the scenes that Joe Dante fought for. It's this kind of scene where it's shot as if it's a horror movie. With sort of fake lightning, because it comes from the sort of lighting in the room, but it's sort of a fake lightning. The angles are kind of weird. It kind of reminds you of Chucky a little bit. And at this point, Chucky was like 3 movies in, I think.
This was after
this is after Bride of Chucky, right?
No, Bride of Chucky was in 2000.
Oh, okay. So it's 2 movies in.
Yeah. No, it's 3 movies. No, it's 3 movies. Because there was Child's Play 3 was in 1983. Then it went dormant for a long time.
Yeah. That Paul, the Tesla coil from Frankenstein's lab. Yeah, that kind of it's a sort of a fake lightning effect, but it serves sort of the same purpose where the evil character gets lit for a little bit with the lightning. It's kind of a it's kind of a trope.
Well, but it has
serves to.
Well, it has Bazooka even saying they're alive.
Yeah.
That's
when they build them. It's like it's straight up from the Frankenstein 1930 movie. I want to say 31 or 34.
But also too, this was juxtaposed with it actually had Frankenstein watching Frankenstein on the other end.
Yes,
that was right after this. Right after they did that whole scene of them getting created.
This is the most fake fire CGI I have ever seen in an early movie.
But it's always good to see a kid named Brad get his comeuppance.
But it is he takes his shot, doesn't quite do it One thing I have to mention, why isn't Brad calling the police?
I have no idea.
Now, there's a moment in the attack where Kirsty actually gets to her house where the Abernathy, right? Abernathy household?
No, that's Alan's. They're the Fimples.
No. She's Fimple. The other one's Abernathy, right?
Yes. Yeah, Alan.
Okay. So the Abernathy house is under siege. They cut the power and they cut the phone cord. That's why Kirsty goes to the Fimple house to call the police. When she calls the police,
yeah. Later,
it's sort of on the same call as you had in Gremlins, where the cops actually think it's a crank call.
Yeah.
And nobody shows up because of the noise, because all the neighbors don't actually call the police to complain about Fimple because they know he's already making ruckus. It will just blow over.
Yeah.
Because they're already used to it. And it was like, it's like, when are the cops coming? Oh, that's right. Either they think it's a crank call or it's just the same guy all over again. And nobody even calls the police to complain because, it is what it is.
Yep.
So the thing is, there's Alan saves Kirsty. The soldiers run after them, and Kirsty has some really good moves on that moped.
Well, that one also with the bit with the baton. Okay, this is the line that got me. So when they're swinging it, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar has the line. She says, "It's a baton death march."
Yes,
I was like, that line's too good.
Why is
that line in this movie? That line's so good.
Is there a movie called A Baton Massacre?
No, with the Baton Death March. You know.
What's the Baton Death March?
You don't know about that? World War II?
Oh,
yeah.
We just call it a death march.
Yeah, well, that happened in Baton. So, yeah.
Oh, that happened all over the place.
Well, yeah, but no, that happened to it was Chinese and American soldiers and Filipino soldiers. So like about 18,000, like it's estimated between like somewhere between 5,000, 18,000 and 500, 650.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
That's why it got me, because it's actually Bataan. Baton. So when she had a baton swinging it, going around, like, it's a baton death march. That's all. I was like, okay, that's
to me. I immediately thought it was some sort of an obscure B movie horror flick.
No. It's an actual historical event. So that's why that got me, because like I had to roll that back. I was like, wait, did they just say what I thought they said?
That's, you know what? That is even more clever.
Mm-hmm.
That is insanely clever. So they go out, they face the little machine. This is like, and I love you for introducing me to Warhammer 40K. I immediately went to the orcs. Now, in the Warhammer 40K universe, the orcs are strange because what they think of is a death machine. It actually appears like they can build it, or it comes to be as a death
basically
machine.
They can make anything out of this, a whole bunch of scrap, and like it does not work for any other race because they don't have the belief in it actually working.
Yeah, it's really weird to explain, but essentially they have the most weirdest mechanical contraptions ever.
Yeah.
And it's painted red because red is really good color for war.
No, red makes things go faster.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Red make things go faster. I'm sorry.
It's also, I think blue is lucky, purple is sneaky. So yeah. And obviously green is the bestest color because they're green.
Yeah. The fact of the matter, it essentially on my mind went into like these are like orc contraptions where it shoots stuff It's supposed to do one thing and it does something else, and it's really deadly. Even to the point where they shoot this flamethrower fireball thing, and it actually drops a fucking a tree across the road where Kirsty managed to sneakily move fast.
I gotta love that bit too. Archer going because it's Alan goes, "Can I drive?" And Archer goes, "Good idea."
Yeah. But essentially, what happens is
there was one thing that that happened during that bit when they had the CD gun.
Yes.
Okay. It just reminded me there was this old like light gun game that was based off of Aerosmith. Sounds weird. They had it in arcades, right? But your special weapon when the bottom was actually like explosive CDs. That was like a grenade launcher. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck yes.
Yeah.
And second
it was
of all,
awesome. It
cool.
was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
So all the contraptions kind of meld into one vehicle for some reason, and they crash and burn. And the only kind of character that kind of gets saved is Chip.
Yeah.
He kind of floats by, you see his mangled corpse, and then when he wakes up, he wakes up at a fucking Global Tech toy manufacturer.
Sure. Yeah,
because
he sees his
why
own
not?
Giant portrait of himself.
Yes.
Like, okay. Gonna need more soldiers. All right. Well.
Yeah, I need more soldiers, and I'm gonna get him. And of course, who's there but Dick Miller? And Dick Miller has the most profound statement about corporate America or corporations. It's like, I love American corporations. One hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. It's like
actually, just as an aside, what really kind of got me there, and the fact that you mentioned it really reminds me of when Chip emerges from the water. Had that been Arnold Schwarzenegger, Predator?
Yes.
Yeah, that would have
been filled with fucking mud.
Like, covered by mud. Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Like I said, there are moments in here where, like, if Joe Dante would have had his full way, like full creative control, this would have been an awesome movie. Totally not kid friendly, though.
Oh, yeah. No.
It would have ruined what Spielberg was going for, yet it would have been fucking awesome. Probably would bomb, by the way. Probably.
Yeah, but it would have been funny if it was the Demolitions guy. No, I'm sorry. I can't remember which is the African American. I think he
Demolition is Nitro
guy. Yeah, because it's Jim Brown. It's Butch, but when Butch breaks out, if Chip and Butch did the handshake for Predator, if it was played by that, that would have been awesome. Yeah.
Yes, that would have been awesome. All right, let's do a quick pause before we get to essentially the last fight scene.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
the
great.
Last, like, what 30, 40 minutes of the movie too? It's
about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It kind of, it's deceptive. The movie, I've got it at 1 hour 49, where the first 10 minutes is essentially a very long prologue just to explain how they came to be. Then it goes into like starting credits. So the movie kind of starts at the 10-minute mark. Then it kind of there are some dull moments, but mostly the story kind of progresses. And then there's the last half hour where 9 out of the 49 minutes, are credits.
Yeah.
So
and the rest of there's about 3 minutes of wrap up too. So
I think an hour and a half, like an hour 35 is like net movie. So around 95 minutes.
Yeah.
Net movie. If you can really put it that way. All right. Let's do a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a drink, and we'll play Cinema Deathmatch.
Round 1, fight.
Cinema Deathmatch is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, both of them are good or both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Saturday evening, Friday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? Rush or The Wicker Man?
The bees. The bees. A guy in a bear suit just punched a lady. What is going on?
So, what is your choice? Have you seen Rush?
Yeah, a long, long time ago.
Okay.
Just for the sake of argument, given the confines of the game, it has to be The Wicker Man, just because of the obviously just giant jokes throughout the entire film.
Sorry. Came over me. Definitely Rush. A, it's the better movie.
Yeah.
B, I want to watch it again. And C, I can watch Nicolas Cage overact in other movies. I will watch the meme, sure. But if there's two choices and I want to grab the best of the bunch movie, I would definitely watch Rush. And Paul Harley agrees with me. See, Paul says it.
Yeah.
I would watch the B scene and then watch Rush.
Hey, Frankenstein.
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I've definitely seen that movie. And Captain America, the First Avenger.
I would have to go with Captain America, even though I did not like the fact that they killed off the Red Skull in it.
Okay.
The Red Skull they should have saved for another film.
Luckily, like I said, I did watch the Abbott. I've seen, I think, all of the Abbott and Costello movies.
Yeah,
because
they did it with all the Universal monsters, if I'm not mistaken.
They used to be on during the summer, usually around 2 p.m. mark, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., if I remember correctly. It's like there was a bunch of like old, let's say there are some old like 48 movies and some like old in the 80s. It's like from the 60s, like Disney, like a Herbie movie.
Okay.
So I watched a bunch of these, like Laurel and Hardy movies. That's sort of a movie.
Yeah.
Never got into them. I never got the humor, not even as a kid, even though I love like Looney Tunes humor or Laurel and Hardy kind of humor. I didn't like the Abbott and Costello type of humor.
Yeah.
None of them grabbed me. So I would definitely pick Captain America. I know it's a long-winded explanation, but it is what it is. The Insider or Night and Day?
Okay, this is so funny because Hollywood has this trend of repeating the same sort of that they have two films that come out in the same year that have the same concept, just starring different actors. So there was Night and Day, and then there was another film with Ashton Kutcher, and I can't remember the actress that was with him in it, but it's the same thing where he's a spy and she's his girlfriend.
I think it's I slipped the name. It's the blonde chick who did a lot of stuff with Seth Rogen. I think it's her.
Elizabeth Banks?
No, not Elizabeth Banks. She was in Grey's Anatomy, and everybody thinks
Katherine Heigl. Yep, yeah, you're right. It was Katherine Heigl.
I think it was Katherine Heigl who did the Ashton Kutcher one.
Yeah. But again, it was the same concept, just with different actors.
Yeah. I get it.
It would have to be The Insider. Yeah, that's
in
Killers.
The Insider,
Killers.
even though it's really heavy, and Night and Day is like a light actiony kind of action half comedy bit, I would watch The Insider.
Yeah. Okay, Rock and Rolla. Come on.
It's Rock and Rolla for one reason, and really specific reason. Gravity is really long and really boring.
Yes.
Like it's supremely boring. Rock and Roller is really well written. Like it's not Guy Ritchie at his top, but fuck, at his mid, he's even better than Gravity.
Yeah.
I have not seen. I'm not sure it's an actual movie.
That's the documentary about it.
Documentary he did.
Yeah.
We talked about this. It's not really a movie, so we're.
Yeah, that's Ghost. That's
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
Prometheus. And please tell me why Ghost, and I will agree, but tell me why.
Because I think Prometheus essentially ruined the concept of the Aliens franchise even more than Alien 3 did or Alien Resurrection did.
I am Henry VIII. I am.
Yeah. And don't watch Alien Earth either. It's terrible. Oh, it is so bad.
I gave the Alien, the last one that came out, the movie. Like last year, it came out 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Alien, whatever McGun. Alien 1.0 or 0.5 or whatever you want to call it, right? It's between Alien and Aliens, supposedly.
Romulus.
Thanks,
Paul.
It has two good bits in it. One, the actor playing the android was really good. And two, they did a that I don't remember what it's called. It's a retro vintage high tech where everything kind of looks like it was done in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Like retrograde?
Retrograde. That's it. Retrograde. All right. Next and last. Superbad or X-Men?
Okay, Superbad came out right after I got out of college, so it kind of has a little bit soft spot in my heart. And it's also that was during that glut of where we talked about this last week, where in the mid 2000s they just had a whole bunch of comedies.
Yeah,
back to back. I think Superbad was like near the end of that trend, and I think it's better than a lot of them. I'm gonna have to go with Superbad because I think X-Men is the inferior version compared to X2.
I told you this when we discussed X2. I'm going to pick Superbad. And it's the thinnest of margins. And you know what it is? If X-Men had the same story, same everything, same, like no changes in all the scenes, but you put them in their original costumes and the movie is 50 times better.
Yeah.
Put them in the suits in your mind, watch the movie, 50% better. It's Superbad for me. Original Planet of the Apes or Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which is the third mariachi movie.
Yes. That's the one with Johnny Depp in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I would still watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. I do not like the Planet of the Apes films. The new ones, the Tim Burton one, anything with them.
Oh, none of them you like? I love the original Planet, the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I think I said so last week.
Yeah.
I have a recollection. I'm not sure if it was live or not, but yeah, I disliked like the Marky Mark one and forward.
Like I like the new reimagining with Caesar, where it actually shows the progression of the virus and him gaining enhanced intelligence. That I found interesting in the first remake with the Andy Serkis kind of era of Planet of the Apes. But after that, I was like, no, these just got bad again. I'll pass.
To me, they're all bad.
Yeah. So we do have, back to the movie, we have Chip essentially taking Joe hostage.
Yes. And the sort of both families can kind of convene inside the Abernathy house where Larry and
Irwin.
Sorry, man.
No, you're fine.
Every time I see his face, I love his face. I know he is not well liked in Hollywood for some reason.
Apparently, he's a real prick.
Apparently, I when I see him, it's like cross.
Yeah.
To me immediately. But Erwin and Larry come in, and they're both kind of like, Larry comes in as, can we have them back? We're like doing a recall door to door.
They got the call from Alan, and they're the only ones paying attention to it. And they're like, we better go check this out. I mean, and they did when they initiate the recall on them and everything.
Yeah. And Erwin is the guy who is fascinated by Archer, and Larry's like, we need to contain this somehow before the big boss kind of knows. Because at this point, he's like, I want to save my job.
Well, then they have that Erwin has the conversation with them where he actually is like, oh, you made a declarative statement. No, they actually are learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they look outside. And this is their realization for, like, the parents who realize, oh, you've been telling the truth the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of the same parallel that that Billy had with the Gremlins, but not really. It's more like in Gremlins 2 that they had that realization, that they had sort of that same realization. But yeah, sort of why are you making up stories kind of a thing. It's, it goes beyond the Gremlins, but yeah. And then that whole fight. I love the tennis balls, like fireball. It kind of reminded me of Friends in some way.
Oh, yeah.
Because they did play fireball with a tennis ball. And then, of course, at the end, Joey's like, what else can we put on fire? And he brings in a big, like, bowling ball and a lighter, and a big lighter.
And I was gonna say, just to right before then, they do have Phil attempting to like surrender with the Gorgons, and they just have the bit where he goes, "There'll be no mercy for the 16. 16, what's that? 7 Gorgonites and 9 humans." They realize, oh, they're gonna try to murder us.
Yeah. I want to get to the neighbors. Like, there's one neighbor who is this. It's like, oh,
it's like, damn it, Phil.
Don't get shot in the head. Oops.
Yeah. Then they have the elderly neighbor in the bed.
Yeah. So
just,
that is,
and then they just turn up the volume on their TV.
This is Mrs. Futterman. The other guy.
Yeah.
I know the actor's name. I don't remember where. Like, he's been in a bunch of stuff. But I don't remember which Dante movie he was on. But I knew him only as an old guy, but he's been in a bunch of stuff with Joe Dante and even before.
And even with Spielberg, because he was actually in the Twilight Zone movie, the segment that Spielberg directed in the retirement.
He's in one of the Cocoon movies. I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right too.
He's one of them. Him, there's the other dude. They kind of look the same, but one is tall. This one's tall, and the other one is shorter. The shorter one, that they kind of look alike. The shorter one is married to Jessica Tandy. I think we've got Wilford Brimley in that movie. I don't remember exactly, but Mrs. Futterman got a cameo. That's what I'm saying. So you get both the fireballs and the firecrackers.
Too.
And the nail gun and the CD gun and everything that they can do, they just do. And then, of course, you got the Flight of the Valkyries with the helicopter. Again, it sort of serves the cliche, but it works within the confines of what Joe Dante was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And this is where Larry, Irwin, all of them, it's like they're laying on the floor. It's like, yeah, we need a nuke. Irwin kind of explains that they need an EMP pulse in order to make that happen.
Yeah.
And they kind of set up Alan is a mischievous guy who torches school. So he kind of knows to break shit, essentially.
Yeah, because it was but it was so funny. It was actually Archer who points out the transformers.
Yes.
On the power line.
Yeah.
But it's also Phil comes to the rescue then too, where he goes, yeah, but enough of devices, if they're put together, they could blow it.
Yeah.
And it goes, what? It only happened once. Which means that Phil's kind of a menace in this neighborhood too.
Yeah, for sure. But it's sort of maybe an unintentional menace or sort of a self-gain kind of a menace.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to torch a school. He just wants to build a dish and a hot tub and whatever
and
he wants to do.
All the power stuff that he's utilizing. But then we have essentially the story between Stuart and Alan's their kind of their relationship repairing itself by Stuart essentially really believing in his son and allowing him to go for the transformer while he provides the distraction with all with the elite.
And the fact that once Alan leaves, Stuart comes up and I think it's the communications guy comes in. It's like, what are you going to do, Tiny? It's like, do this. And they shoot a full net on them.
At him, yeah.
Again, it's that silly, fun humor bits that doesn't really mesh with we just shot a full nail gun in your fucking leg kind of bit.
Yeah.
It's sort of a too much violence and then not too much violence. And at a certain point, Archer comes to the other Gorgons is like, why don't we just fight and lose? Like, we'll lose anyway. It's like either hide and lose or fight and lose. Gorgons at the end lose.
Yeah. And they have, again, this is where it's really where you saw the dramatic change into how it was supposed to be a kid's film with the action of the Gorgons fighting the elite, because it always has all the wacky sound effects and everything, and
the obvious Tasmanian devil Gorgon. My favorite. I'm sorry. I know he's really stupid and he has this sort of a not slapstick humor, but sort of a Three Stooges kind of.
Oh yeah, it is
humor.
Yeah,
right. And again, kind of reminds me of the sort of a Short Circuit kind of a thing where it's just that stupid humor thing, but it fits within that specific Gorgon where it's like it's that Tasmanian devil and he's talking fast and it's crazy. And then Alan goes in and tries to short circuit the Transformers with the wrench. And this is where it turns from kid stuff into real stuff where
horror again, where you have Chip stabbing his fingers.
Yes. And he almost died. He falls off that pole and on his back, and nothing happened to Alan.
Alan didn't fall.
Alan fell.
Alan didn't fall.
No, he did. I'll show it to you. I'll get to it. I'm trying to get to it. Anyway, so Archer faces up against Chip. Archer falls at the end. He loses. Yeah. Essentially, Gorgons always lose, right? But
it was also really kind of funny during that fight, though, that he has the bit where, like, basically it's Archer trying to appeal to Chip, going, "Listen, we're the same. I'm circuitry and wires underneath this too."
Yeah. But Chip is not having it. It's like, you are scum and you must die, and he kicks him off. And of course, Alan gets annoyed, picks up Chip, puts him, uses him as the short circuit moment.
Yeah.
And I have to press play. As soon as it goes off, Alan falls.
Oh, see, I must have not been paying attention because I could have sworn he jumped off.
Yes, but he falls
Yeah.
on his back. He falls on top of a tree that kind of breaks his fall, essentially. That's how they kind of do it. But
It's not a
too much.
good way
It
to
wasn't
go.
too much of a stretch for me. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. As soon as the EMP kind of breaks, there's that moment where you like, if you think in the terms of Arnold instead of Chip, there's the Total Recall moment here a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little. I know it's a little bit of massaging it through, but yes. Where it's like puts his eyeball out.
Also, I did like just the small little scene where it just showed Christy running over a whole bunch of them with a lawnmower.
I knew you were going to say that.
Why didn't you think of this before?
and this is one of those things where it's like, oh, the CGI is fucking jank.
Yeah.
This was not a good CGI moment. Let's just say that. Let's be honest. But it's a fun little moment. And this is like, again, kind of reminds me of Gremlins, maybe a little bit of Gremlins 2, where Phoebe Cates' character just had enough and she's like wailing on some gremlins.
Yeah.
This is that moment to me. Where it's kind of the same thing, but not really. And then of course, the day after, this bit of
David just printing out checks. Well, what about emotional? Okay, I'll move the truck, sir.
What about emotional stress and all that stuff? And as soon as he hits, I want to get to that bit.
Because he does it to Joe first, then Phil's like, well, what about all my equipment and everything? And then it gets to Stewart, and it's like,
no,
you don't have, I gotta have enough money to pay for all this. And he gets the check and goes, well, maybe you do.
Yeah, maybe you do. This is sort of trying to sort of talk about like too much commercial or commercialism or whatever, where the kid is like, maybe I don't want toys for my birthday or for Christmas. Maybe I want clothes.
Yeah, for my birthday, I just want clothes. It's like, yeah.
And again, this is the moment where it's a little bit more kid friendly, where the Alan kind of tips over the dish that fell during the whole commotion.
Oh yeah, and he finds the Gorgonites.
And he finds the Gorgons who got, essentially saved by the EMP, and they're all playing dead. And as soon as he talks to them, it's like they wake up. It's like the soldiers are gone. Yeah, okay, we can revive. So they reverted back after they fought. They kind of reverted back into hiding.
Yeah,
and essentially hiding back. But it works within the confines of the story where you kind of get that kid happy ending, because the kids don't understand. Oh, check for an emotional stress. Oh yeah, that's right, no problem. That's sort of the adult version of a happy ending. Who's gonna pay for my destruction? Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's already paid for. Okay. And
yeah.
then some. All right. No big deal. But then basically the Gorgonites get their own, because they're trying to find Gorgons. So
yeah,
they go on a ship. Because again, they just figure somewhere past wherever Alan said their Gorgon's going to be somewhere out there. And they just go down the river.
I didn't look at the credits, but I think this whole scene was shot in Yosemite. And the reason why is first of all, I went there, but before I went there, I actually looked at pictures. Certain rock formations look really similar to where I was and saw in pictures. So I think it's Yosemite, but I, again, didn't look at the credits. So it must have been somewhere, because I couldn't find anywhere in the research of where exactly that location is.
Yeah, there's really no information on where it was shot.
No. But to me, I was like, I swear I have a picture with me in front of that river. There's like tons of rivers there, tons. But to me, it kind of looks the same.
To be fair, though, that could have been any small town USA with the way with that they had their small little shop on the corner and everything, and they seemed like
No,
I don't small town.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean the town. I mean that specific shot,
yeah,
like that specific location. And I'll tell you why. It's how clear the water is.
Yeah.
That's all. I know it's a bit silly, but I don't know. It kind of looks to me that like it's like I felt like I've been there.
Okay.
Like I'm looking at the rock formations there. It felt like I was there. Like like when I was in the US.
Yeah.
So
okay.
And that kind of brings us to the end. They kind of sail into the sunset, kind of a moment, and it kind of brings the movie up to the end. Cool. I want to say I haven't watched this for a very long time, and I caught a whole bunch of new stuff because when I saw it for the very first time, I think I've seen it on cable or on VHS. Didn't see it in the theater for sure. But I was like 18, 19 years old, and I felt like it was just past of where beyond my, it's like it's not meant for me when I saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
Watching it for the show, I caught a whole bunch of stuff, and we mentioned this: movie references, movie quotes, like imagery that are like, if you love movies, this would invoke that imagery. And it's placed there because Joe Dante is, a big movie buff. He loves movies. He loves making movies. And he gives that homage to those things that inspired him in order to make this movie. Would have loved to have the cast of The Predator as the commandos.
Oh, yeah.
This is after the fact. After the fact, would love to see that version and those references coming in. I don't know if Arnold can pull off a Patton speech, because Tommy Lee Jones did it just perfectly.
Yeah,
just perfectly.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So, there's a give or take. I love the fact that if you strip it down to the bare bones, it's very much like the Gremlins, where it's a horror movie, but it's also, you can kind of say kids can watch. I watched it as a kid and I thought it was a scary movie, but I didn't think it's a horror film. So yeah, I like it. I don't love it. There's stuff in it that is meandering, and I would love to see it cut, but it's already stripped down. But it is what it is. Any last words?
No, I think you pretty much nailed the head on.
Okay.
It's not exactly.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're fine. No,
Okay.
There's not really too much to really go in depth about it. I think overall, I don't know how it could have gotten sequels unless they really went way out there with it. But I guess there's a reason why it got canceled. So,
and the one character that I love the most had the least amount of time, which is the Dennis Leary CEO character, which oddly enough kind of reminds you of the CEO from Gremlins 2, but only to a certain degree. Only to a certain degree.
That's
because
fair,
that guy wasn't really an asshole like the Leary character. He was more like the Robert Picardo character in Gremlins 2 was kind of the Dennis Leary character. That on that same level of assholey. But of course, Robert Picardo was, had his moments in this movie. Anyway, without too much meandering, next week we are still on toys with a movie called Toys. With Robin Williams, which the entire month kind of progressively gets lighter and lighter as we move on closer and closer to Christmas. For the Christmas show is to be continued. Next week, go watch Toys with Robin Williams. I think it's 96. I think. Go watch Toys. That movie also has dark moments in it.
Yeah.
And come back to us next week. And remember, guys, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. See you next time.
You're still here? It's over.